Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs. I was chilling here, my off day on a Saturday, and the Texans decided to make a move. So I said, you know what? I got to go out and make a video. If you're just now joining in for the very first time, this is Texans Today, your one-stop shop for Texans news and rumors. Go down and hit that sub button and join the over 28,000 subscribers that have already called Texans Today their home. Now, let's get right into the news. Texans signing E.J. Speed, linebacker from the Indianapolis Colts. I have to double check, but I believe it's a one-year contract. $5 million, with a $1 million incentive bonus. So 1 year, $5 million contract for linebacker E.J. Speed. Has spent his entire career with the Indianapolis Colts. He was a 5th round pick in 2019, and last year was arguably one of his most productive years in the NFL. That's where he got the most snaps and the most tackles in his entire career. In 2024, he was 3rd on the Colts in tackles with 142. He had 7 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups, and 1 interception. So go down in the comment section. Let me know. Do you like the signing of E.J. Speed, adding another linebacker to this room? Like I said, it's a 1 year, $5 million deal for E.J. Speed. I'm okay with it. I'm cool with it because I'm going to get into this later on in the show, but I think this continues to prove what the Texans' plan is in the NFL draft, because the signing of E.J. Speed, that's not nothing. So I really do like the signing because this allows them to focus in the draft on something else. But let's get back to E.J. Speed and what he's going to bring to this team. So I have his PFF grades right here pulled up. And he's a guy where he's great in run defense. And that's kind of been his thing in Indianapolis. He's been a really good run defender. And the coverage grades are just not there. They're not good. The past 3 seasons, his run defense grade 72, 78, 82. His coverage grades over the last 3 years, 46, 56, and 62. Obviously, these are out of 100, so not great whenever it comes to pass protection. But adding another guy, adding another run defender, another, talented linebacker to this group, I like how this defense is forming. And the Texans like to run a lot of 2 linebacker sets. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and then 5 defensive backs. So most of the time, I would expect it to be Azeez Al-Shaair and either Christian Harris or Henry To'oTo'o next to him for this next year. Leaning more Henry To'oTo'o because Christian Harris missed all of last year. On the last year of his rookie deal, he's definitely going to prove it year, but Henry To'oTo'o really showed up this past season for this Texans linebacking room. You have those 3 guys, and like I said, they're going to run a lot of 2 linebacker sets, so I imagine E.J. Speed is just going to be an extra guy to throw in there as a, rotation linebacker and maybe even help out in special teams a little bit. We've seen a lot of special team signings by this Texans team this off season. Like Nick Neiman, the other linebacker who they signed, is a big special teamer. They re-signed Hansen at linebacker. He's another, special teams guy for this team. The cornerback that they signed, formerly he played with the Texans before. I believe it was Sermon. That was another special team signing. So this team is loading up on, depth pieces and guys who can help out in the special teams in free agency as well. And I'm not saying E.J. Speed's just going to be a special teamer for this team. Obviously, 1 year, $5 million is a decent contract for a linebacker. I do wonder, though, what this means in terms of Christian Harris. Because, like I said, Azeez Al-Shaair is your best linebacker. The next best guy, I think, is Henry To'oTo'o. So that kind of leaves Christian Harris, E.J. Speed in this fight for like the 3rd linebacker whenever they run their 4-3 base from time to time. And then also that next rotation linebacker whenever they do have those nickel and dime packages when there's only 2 linebackers on the field. Christian Harris, E.J. Speed is going to be a very interesting camp battle that we will have to monitor this offseason because, like I said, E.J. Speed, a really good run defender. Kind of the same as Christian Harris. Christian Harris, we all know him for that interception he had up against the Browns, but, in his entire career, hasn't been the very best in pass coverage. Same with EJ Speed. So they're going to be battling for that, third linebacker spot between the two of those guys. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And also, I have to mention EJ Speed, obviously, division rival, Indianapolis Colts. I think this is a really smart signing in that way too, because you kind of get an insight into the enemy. He spent his entire career with the Indianapolis Colts. He was there, one of the leaders on the defense this past year. You're able to take somebody away from a division rival, so you hurt them and you gain more knowledge on the Indianapolis Colts from a guy from within in EJ Speed. I know him, the other guys on the Colts, the linebacking room, from time to time, I'd send some shots to the Texans way, but I think it's obviously a business. But so EJ Speed coming over the Texans, I'm really excited to see how he can play for this team and what he can bring to the linebacking room, and like I said, the battle between him and Christian Harris. I'm going to talk about the Texans draft and kind of their strategy moving forward now that they signed linebacker EJ Speed. But before I do, the Texans just dropped their draft hats, and our friends at Fanatics, they got it for you already. If you want to check out the new Texans draft hats, I'm going to put the link in the comment section. It's chatsports.com/Texans hats. That lets Fanatics know that we sent you over there. So go use that link, chatsports.com/Texans hats. Go check out the new Texans draft hats. Let me know, do you like the new Texans draft hats? I'm somewhere in the middle. I think they're okay. If you go and click on the link, you'll see what I mean. But the bill has a different design this year, and I don't know if I'm out or in on it yet. Go check it out. Like I said, that link is going to be down in the comments. It's chatsports.com/Texans hats. And talking about the Texans draft strategy now, I assumed they might need another linebacker to help replenish this unit. I was thinking maybe a sneaky third or fifth round pick option. Maybe if the Texans trade back into the fourth round, maybe in that 3 to 5 round range, the Texans could have grabbed a linebacker. I think this is showing that the Texans are going to go a very offense heavy draft. I wouldn't be surprised if out of the Texans picks that they have, I guarantee they're going to trade up or trade down, because that's just what Nick Caserio does. He wheels and deals during the draft. But during the draft this year, I wouldn't be surprised if 80-90% of the picks are offense, are offensive line, wide receiver, running back. I think you could see the Texans draft O-line, wide receiver, running back, and a tight end in this draft. So that's 4 picks already with just those positions. So I think the Texans are going to go very offense heavy. I don't think they're going to go every single pick on the offense, but I also wouldn't be shocked if that was the case. I could see them drafting maybe 1 or 2 defenders, especially if somebody who is really good dropped down. I know they already have been talking to a couple guys. They talked to Easton Mascarenas-Arnold. He was a top 30 visit, the linebacker from USC. He's a late round pick. They also talked to Siobhan Revel Jr., who's a round 2, round 3 corner. I don't know if they go corner that early, but somebody else that they've brought in on a top 30 visit. But the other people that they've brought in that they've talked to, 2 running backs, Jaden Blue, Brashard Smith, 2 wide receivers, Kyle Williams, Matthew Golden, 2 offensive linemen, Josh Conley Jr. and Charles Grant from William and Mary. So if you're telling me out of all the top 30 visits they've had so far, now I might be missing 1 or 2. They keep on bringing more top 30 visits in as time goes on, but it's showing they want to go offense in this draft, and I feel like that will be the case with this Texans team. Once again, before I let you go, on a beautiful Saturday, EJ Speed with the Houston Texans. Welcome to Houston, EJ. Hopefully we can make a run this year. H-Town, hold it down. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Join me for weekly videos here around daily videos around the Houston Texans. I'm tripping. It's a Saturday. It's my off day. We're chilling, maxing, relaxing, all cool. Everybody have a great day. I will see y'all later on this week. EJ Speed, welcome to the Houston Texans.